Welcome back to my channel where math is made easy. All right, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go over there and touch that subscription button. Share this video with somebody that you think might need it, and just leave a comment just telling me something that you'd like to see me put out, that content that you might have challenge with and you want some help on it. All right, so let's go in. Today we're going to be doing the topic of determining whether relations are functions. All right, just before we dive in, let's do a little backtrack. So what are relations? Relations are really pairing inputs with outputs. For example, the number of hours you work paired with the pay you receive, right? So the number of hours you work would be your input and your pay would be your output. Now, what are functions? And that's just really a special kind of relation. Now, a relation is a function if and only if the x has only one y value paired with. All right. Now, if you're looking at a function, it's always just the x that is in question. The y is never in question. So the y can be paired with more than one x, but the x cannot be paired with more than one y. All right. So for this lesson, we're going to look at the culture of, we're going to use a scenario with the culture of some African countries. All right. In some African cultures, their males are allowed to marry to multiple wives. However, it's not legal for the wives to have multiple husbands. So the wives can only have one husband, but the males can have multiple wives. All right, and so it is with the function. So for this lesson, we're going to call our females, and I'm going to put it up here so that we'll have it throughout the lesson. So the x, I'm going to call my females, and the y, I'm going to call my males. All right, so we will be using that throughout the lesson. All right, so it says to determine whether each relation is a function, and we're going to explain why it is or it's not. All right, so let's take A. Now, there are multiple ways that you can test to see if it's a function or not. But remember, we're using this scenario where the female is not allowed, it's not legal to have more than one husband, but the males are legal to have more than one wives. All right, so always keep this at the forefront of your mind. So for A, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a mapping diagram. So my domain, which is my x or the female, and my range, which is my y or the males, right? Let's put the values in for your domain. We know that for the point, it always has an x and a y. So let's put those in. Nice. So what are my x's? -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, right? What are my y's? I have 2 right here, 2 again, 0, 0. So that's 0 and 2. So my females, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And for my males, 0, 2. Let's go ahead and see who are these ladies married to, and just to check if they have more than one husband, because really, remember, it's always the female or the x that is in question. If the females are faithful, or if the females only have one husband, then it is a function. All right, so let's check this. So -2 is married to 2. -1 is married to 2 as well. So let's tick those off as we go along. 0 is married to 2. 1 is married to is married to 0, and 2 is also married to 0. All right, so let's examine that. 2, this female right here only has one partner. This female here has only one partner. This female also only has one partner. This one partner. That one partner. So all the females have only one partner, so that makes it a function. All right, now I want to highlight this. Even though, so let's examine the males. This male 0. How many wives does 0 have? 1, 2. So his wives are 1 and number 2, right? But it's still a function because it's never the male. Remember we said in some African cultures, it's okay for the male to have multiple wives, but it's not okay for the females to have multiple wives. So husband, sorry. So even though he has more than one wife, he has more than one wife as well, it's still a function because it's just the females that are in question. All right, so function. All right, let's look at this one, and we don't even have to go in and draw a mapping diagram for this. Another way to tell if it's a function or not is just to look at the x's or the females and to see if they have been repeated. If it has been repeated, it means that that female or that x is mapped to more than one y value, which is the male, or more, they have more than one husbands. All right, so let's go. 4, 8, 6. Let me write them so that you can see them. 6, 4, 5. What do you notice? The x, the female 4 is repeated, so it means that 4 would have had more than one husband. Who are the husbands for 4? Husband 0 and husband 3. All right, so it means then that this relation is not a function, because once the x is repeated, it's not a function. Let's fill this one in. So that's -2, -1, 0, 0, 1, 2. All right, so those are the points that we're working with for this one. Is this a function or not a function? Put it in the comment section just to tell me what you think, if it's a function or not. And it's okay to go ahead and tell me why you say it is or it's not a function. All right, nice. Now if you said that it is not a function, you're very correct. I think you should go in the comment section and just put those celebration emojis in, because that would have meant that you would have learned this topic. All right, so it's not a function because if you notice here, this female 0 has 2 husbands, 5 and 6. So not a function. All right, let's look at D. What do you say for this one? Function or not a function? It is a function. Let's examine why. Let's examine, remember it's always the x that is in question and not the y, right? Because in the African culture, the females are the ones that are not allowed to have multiple husbands. The males can have multiple wives. So always remember that. So let's go. This female right here only has one husband. This one only has one husband, one husband. So function, even though this boy right here has 2 wives. All right, remember it's always the female or the x that is in question. Now I hope that this would have helped you. Remember to go over and share with somebody who you think this might also help, and don't forget to subscribe and like if this is helping you out. All right, thank you.